Here we go with another Bantams Smalltalk special. This time I'm with a very special guest, and hopefully this time everything will work because we've had a few technical problems, haven't we? But today I'm going to let today's guest I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So if you'd like to start by confirming your name and position at the club, please.
My name's Clive Michallat, and I scout under 16s upwards for Bradford.
That's absolutely brilliant. Would you like to tell us about any players that you've scouted? Because then obviously one of them did score last Saturday.
Yeah, Keane Scales. Really pleased for him. Really nice lad. Really supportive family as well, which is really important. But yeah, scouted Keane playing to lead schoolboys. He was up against a 6 foot centre half even back then when he was younger, and heart of a lion, Keane, a great character to have around, and yeah, he'll run through a brick wall for you all day, Keane. But his family are great as well, very supportive, which is really important as well. So that's Keane. Scouted in the past, Andre Wisdom, Joe House. Andre, he was playing for Yorkshire Amateurs, under 13s, I think it was back then. So, Joe Wright, who was at Doncaster, Mason Greenwood, scouted when he was 5. He was playing for Idle Juniors, even though he lived in Wibsey. But got him down to Bradford City's academy, and when he was under 7, Nick, he was training with about under 10s. And he was possibly one of the stronger ones even back then. He was, a different level, but a really, really nice guy. But obviously at the end of the under-8 season, they have a choice of what pro club they want to go to, if any. And unfortunately, he chose Man United. But speaking to his dad, still keeping in touch with him, and his dad said at some point in the future he would like to play for them, which is great. So yeah, it's a nice lad, lovely family again.
Yeah, and obviously, have you got any up and coming players that might follow his footsteps maybe this season or next season? Obviously, I understand that you can't name because that won't be fair, but do you think you'll have a few coming through the ranks very soon?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I think the academy is very strong. There's plenty of talent coming through, and that's why you've got your so-called big clubs that are watching a lot of our academy games, Nick, and youth team games as well. So it's a really good setup.
Yeah.
The academy, Neil Matthews, who's head of that, excellent. Neil, he was in charge of Huddersfield Town's academy.
Yep.
Before that shut, but Neil's a really, really good influence, a great example, and he's got some really good coaches down there. Plus, Alan Nelson's come back now to Bradford City, so it's extremely strong setup. Loads of talent coming through, and Neil is a tremendous influence down there. Yeah.
That's absolutely brilliant. Moving on to the first team, why do you think our transformation has changed so much? Obviously, we went on a slight sticky patch before Saturday, but before then, we've been absolutely fantastic compared to sort of, unfortunately, sadly, when McCall was in charge, and he was a legend. I love him to bits, but why do you think things changed just sort of dramatically?
Yeah, like I said quite rightly, Stuart will always be a legend, but for whatever reason, whether, I always sort of look at recruitment. Is recruitment a key? Very, very possibly. And for whatever reason, we were taking a bit of a nosedive, weren't we? But Ryan Sparks made the very, very brave decision to change sort of that direction, if you like. He made, again, the brave decision to take Mark Connor on from the youth team. And obviously that sort of paid dividends, really. They've steered us to safety. And the two, excellent coaches. But like I say, it was a massive decision by Ryan, but that's certainly paid off as well. And recruitment-wise, again, players that are coming in the January window, that Lee has brought in, Lee Turnbull. We've got the makings, Nick, of a really good, exciting team that could be together for the next 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And I do know that players that have been identified in the summer, that plenty of character that would run through a brick wall, like we all like to see, don't we, down at City?
We do, because we need another Gary Jones character if we can find one at the right price, and obviously good quality player as well.
Yeah, because Ryan, you know, he talks about culture, doesn't he? Culture, heritage, and it's, for me, and not every Bradford City supporter, you know, that player has got to understand what that black ribbon on the shirt means. That's, you know, you can't say that. It's so important. And we want them to know and understand the history of the club, and what the memorial means outside the ground. That's very, very, very important.
Good.
And Ryan gets that, and he fully understands that. For me, that's fantastic. That tells you everything about Ryan, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I met him loads. He was a brilliant guy, and obviously when he was first appointed, I backed him all the way, and I don't quite understand why some people give him criticism, because everybody starts in Ryan's position. So every successful person in his position that now obviously started where he is. So I'm glad he's proved some people wrong without slating those people myself. So what did you think to when he got criticism before he'd even been given a chance?
Ryan,
yeah.
I guess in life you're always going to get criticism, I think, aren't you, from whoever it might be. You know, Ryan's quite a young chief executive, but that's not to say, is it? You know, that he's going to do an absolute fantastic job. And the way he started, you know, he clearly has a plan.
He does.
As well, he clearly understands the history and the culture of the club. You know, and the makeup, I think he said that, you know, Bradford is a tough, hard city, I think, mentioned last Thursday, and it is. And, you know, people at the end of a hard week want to watch the team, want to see players run through walls for them. And I think Ryan gets it, I think, as well, and a lot in the background at Bradford City as well. You know, Paula Watson, Nick Shackleton, people like that. You know, Michallat in the ticket office, everybody. It's a good setup, yeah. Yeah,
we'll move on to Paula in a minute, because I know her really well. But before we move off the subject of Ryan and Bradford, say it's also important. I'm really happy with the stuff that he seems to be doing off the pitch as well, sort of getting the ground ready. He thinks fans should be back next season, but can't promise how many. And obviously, you don't want to put a season ticket wholesale that, you know, that's not sellable, but hopefully, touch wood soon. Do you think fans will be back, and do you think the Valley Parade will look fresh and inviting for fans?
Yeah, I think, like you said again last Thursday, it'd be a staggered return, and I guess that's safety, isn't it? COVID pending and so on. But I think it will be a staggered return. But I think, Ryan is looking, isn't he? He's looking to replace some of the seats there. Looking at the ground again, the pitch. The roofing on the main stand as well, you know, and he put a nice little clip on, didn't he, yesterday, I think, Bradford City, Valley Parade in the sun. It's a great place to be, isn't it? So he has a definite plan, you know, again, recruitment as well with Lee Turnbull, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting period, I think, involved in. So we should be confident as Bradford City fans moving forward,
Exactly, and moving on to Paula, I obviously know her from where I work now, but I'm not going to mention that because in case I can't say it on the video, but she's my boss, she was fantastic. And we got on like really well, like close friends, because she's knew I was a Bradford fan. I said, "Are you?" And we got involved with the disability team, and that's how she got involved with the club. And what's she like to work with down at Bradford City, if you met her, that is, obviously?
Yeah, I've sort of got to know Paula as well. You know, Bradford City have been really, really supportive of the charity, co-founder of the charity, Action for Sport, and she's been really, really positive about that. She invited us down to give a presentation to the Equality and Diversity Committee as well. That went really well. We're now on that committee, but Paula's backing has been fantastic. And again, another solid person that you want in the background as well. You know, very, very approachable, very hardworking. And yeah, she's a good influence down there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to warn you though. If you ever buy any chips, make sure she's not behind you, because she once picked one of my chips, but she regretted it because I got it from the shop over the road, like a takeaway. She didn't realise it had some like a hot chicken piece with it, which had hot chicken chili sauce on. So about 5 seconds later, she shouts, "Nick Kitchen, you did not." I said, "Well, you should have taken the chips." I said, "Yeah." We also need to try and mention a special person, Pete Nicholson. How do you get on with him? Because he says he says that you know him really well.
Yeah, I do know Pete really well. Yeah, in the time I was like head of recruitment for 3 years as well. We brought in hopefully a really good bunch of people as well. We had Gavin Derbyshire, locally a very, very good scout. Some of his players went on to play for Bradford City. Gavin, Dave Bradley, Paul Askell, and Peter. Peter was in there. He came in. It was very, very enthusiastic. We had one development centre at that time, Thomas Danby, that Gav Derbyshire ran very well. But then we grew that to 4 development centres. Peter actually sort of said, right, you can manage that development centre, gave him his chance, and he's done really well. And he's now in charge of all 4 development centres. So he's done really, really well, and it's a lot of work. I think people maybe don't realise when you've got a daytime job as well, in the background, you try to contact parents, get structure organised in the development centres, organising the coaches. It's a lot of work, and hopefully there is that structure there. When I first started it, we just didn't want parents to be paying a fiver, and not getting the money's worth, paying a fiver indefinitely. So we set a structure in place, and Pete's carried that on now, and it's done that really well. It's Bradford City through and through.
He is, and what about his work with the mascots? That's brilliant as well. Obviously, because he helps the mascots on the pitch. I think that's brilliant. Phenomenal what he does with that, really.
Yeah, he does. Again, he does that in his own time, unpaid capacity of that, and he does that really well. Yeah, he's got him into the scouting as well, and he's bringing lads into the academy. So he's dedicated. Yeah, he's certainly dedicated to the club, and he's done a lot for the club as well. He won't want the praise for that, but he has. Yeah, but we had a really, really good team of scouts, and that's grown now through Neil Matthews as well, and Peter, who's sort of heading the scouts now.
Yeah, and before we move off him, we've both got to tell him what his favourite TV programme. I think, I can't guess, could it be on a Sunday night, and could it be called Country File? I think it might be, don't you?
Very, very possibly. I think in a previous life he was possibly a farmer.
Yeah, he must have
He likes,
I wonder if he's got a tractor or a combine harvester.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's probably a good idea, actually. You might get one now.
Now, what I'd like to do... I'd like to give you some time to promote your charity now. You told us a bit about Action for Sport. Would you like to tell us, first of all, what kind of donations you're looking for, whether it's money or training gear, and how people can find out how to get in contact with you? This is your time to sell Action for Sport right now.
Right. Yeah, well, just tell you briefly, Action for Sport, me and my co-founder, Andrew Kenya, we both worked in the school environment. And we saw the poverty firsthand on a daily basis, children not coming in with the right school uniform, children actually bunking off school because they didn't have either football boots or trainers or PE kit. So, we used to travel around Bradford doing visits, home visits, and some people don't realise the poverty on a doorstep, Nick. And it was heartbreaking, sometimes, a lot of the time. So we decided to form Action for Sport. We got registered charity status last March. Then COVID struck, as we know, but at this point now, we're ready to go into schools. So we've already approached some schools, and we're targeting disadvantaged children, children on pupil premium, And obviously with COVID, there's going to be a lot more poverty as well. But yeah, we collect outgrown sporting boots, trainers, kit, and we'll distribute them into schools in a discreet way as well. We just don't want to turn up with a crate of 20 football boots and say, there you go. And it's a case of insisting to schools, we just don't want those boots to be used, for a PE lesson and then to be handed back to you. We want those boots to be taken away by the child and for them to maybe join a junior club, for them to play with them on a patch of grass next to the house or wherever. So that's really, really important. But we've had some fantastic backing. We've got some sponsors now, Nick.
Brilliant.
Someone's Broadstock in Leeds, the chief executive there, Andy Joe, has been absolutely brilliant. He's offered us logistical support, warehouse support, whatever it takes. And he said he's doing it for the right reasons. Guy as well called Chris Hudson, he has a company hub. Again, he's helping us in his own time to get things moving even more. So other ones, Neil Simpson, Black Solicitors in Bradford, Chris Allen as well has been keen to get involved. So yes, we're getting a lot of backing. The general public have been brilliant, and if the general public would like to look on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and just look up Action for Sport.
Yeah.
And they can donate. Ideally, we're looking for boots.
No problem.
But we're grateful. We're really grateful to the public. They've been brilliant.
Yeah, I'll definitely promote that for you, and I should be able to put your link in this video, so, or at least a logo or something. So obviously, moving on back to Bradford City, and we've spoke about fans being back, we've spoke about everything. Who would you say your player of the season is so far? Because I understand that you actually once did scout him as well, and he's currently out injured, unfortunately.
Yeah, about 3.5 years ago, I went to watch Middlesbrough under-23s versus Norwich under-23s, Nick. I went to watch another player, in fact, and Ron Bone, who was the head of recruitment then for Middlesbrough, very much a legend up there. A quick word with me before the game and said, Clive, you really need to be looking at Callum Cook.
Yeah.
And from the first minute to the last, he was exceptional. Character, he had a big character, played in a very sort of Dean Windass type role. I did my report as well and submitted my report. That was like 3.5 years ago. But sort of said at the time, his most effective, Nick, now, I'm pleased to see that Mark and Connor are actually playing him in a more advanced number 10 position, driving forward. And that was sort of my recommendation, really. And Callum's done really well. A really nice lad from a really nice family. I've got to know his dad, Jed, really well. Very, very supportive family. And I'm pleased for Callum, really, that he's done so well. But his potential is huge. And he'll be certainly a kingpin there to gel everybody together.
Yeah.
We have really missed him. We have missed it. So,
and do you think he'll be here next season? Because I know the club has put contract talks on hold, but is there next season anyway, you said, I think.
I'm sure he's signed until next season. And again, he's still a young lad, and that's the exciting thing at City, that we're bringing in Lee Turnbull, who's doing his research, Lee, and he's bringing in players with plenty of character, with a lot of them with youth on the side as well. So it's an exciting time, I think, to be a City now.
Exactly. So before we move on to sort of a couple of fun questions from Melissa, what did you think? Although I must admit I didn't actually watch the game on Saturday, but we've seen the highlights, and I were really pleased to see the big man up front again, or in the number 10 position, Clayton Donaldson. He set up the goals, didn't he? And from what I've seen and what I've heard, wow, what a blinder he played. Woof.
Yeah, I think Clayton, he's praised, hasn't he? He's praised Mark Truman and Connor Sellers, I think, in the Telegraph and Argus this week. And it was a risk, wasn't it, playing him at number 10 as well, obviously playing Keane out wide a little bit more, but a tremendous risk, and it came off, and I guess that shows, the bravery from Mark and Connor as well, and Clayton influence, isn't it? It's got that experience.
Yeah.
And maybe the thing that we do need is that experience, certainly around the younger ones as well, passing on that experience. But yeah, he did tremendously well. Yeah.
He did, and obviously I want to just ask you a couple of more questions now, and we'll have a bit of fun, and then we'll let you go and have a dish around now, because I know you like one of them. So, out of the following, I want to name which you prefer, a bit like Soccer AM. Do you prefer beer or lager?
Barcelona.
Same, and then Celtic or Rangers?
Definitely Celtic.
Same. Sorry, Stuart, for listening. But yeah, I don't know why, I just got a feeling. And I want to know, if possible, if you can remember your first pair of trainers.
Ooh, I'm not too sure about first pair of trainers. I remember boots, Patrick Colt boots as well. So I actually cleaned them for a period of time. So yeah, Patrick Colt. Yeah, definitely remember them.
So obviously I want to thank you for your time, and it's still recording at the moment, so everything should be touch good, fantastic. Is there any last messages, anyone you want to thank, anyone from your family, anyone else from Bradford City, any friends, before we thank you for your time for this interview and let you go and enjoy the rest of your week?
Well, I think obviously I've been scouting for City since 2003, and the guy actually that used to come with me, Andy Spencer, was a big part of the sort of scouting players. So a special thanks to Andy. I guess in these times as well, COVID times, a special thanks to my family as well. Yeah, like everybody else, looking forward to seeing them again, being able to give my mum, dad a hug, and they've been a big influence. I've spoken about influences online with Kian, Callum, and so on. And for me, my mum and dad have been a massive influence, really. And family and friends. Yeah. Even my partner, Pam, as well. Okay. She's been really supportive of me. But certainly my family and friends. Yeah. And all I would say to City fans as well is, just always get behind the team as well. And it's exciting times. Final message, exciting times. I think Ryan certainly has a plan. And the words, words to me like culture and heritage, music to my ears, really, as well. And that should give every City fan real hope as well that we'll be moving in the right direction, and we need to stick together. Yeah.
We do, and one thing that I've actually forgot to mention, which is silly because it's the disability team who went back to training yesterday and played for that long. I do hope to be back as soon as I can, touch wood, but I just need to sort out getting there in a safe way. I take it, Paul Jubber, my coach, who also does fantastic work with the club. And what do you think of Paul and the importance of everybody getting back to playing for the Bradford City disability team?
Yeah, it's just massive, isn't it, that we all get back to normal, get a bit of stability as well. I think we're doing sort of far better, aren't we, over here in this country than maybe in Germany and Poland that have 10% of the vaccine, and half our population has been vaccinated. So, sooner that we can get back, it's frightening, isn't it, Nick? When you look at in children, I think it's mental health has gone up like 200%. Yeah. The sooner we get back to normality, the better. And like I say, I know, plus as well, that's reminded me, if I can just say a quick thank you to James Mason for everything as well. He's our ambassador, brilliant. And Alex Bell and Joe Wright, and to the sponsors, Southern Sport Stock as well, who have been brilliant. Thanks. And
just one last thing, before you go, tell all my sponsors, as you know, this show is, of course, sponsored by Bale Timber, which is more than just Goodwood. So I don't know if you're going to do any decorating in your garden or down at training or even Bradford City. Tell them don't quote my name, otherwise I'll probably add you 15% on. But if you quote my show, Bantams Smalltalk, hopefully touch wood, as long as the finances are still good, I've got a deal with them where you'll get 15% off. So.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, well, I'm available in Lab, Nick, so I'll be going down there and I'll be mentioning your name.
That's no problem, buddy.
Definitely.
So thanks, I've got. It looks like everything's good to go, and this part, obviously, this part won't be on, but I'll edit it and I'll get it up as soon as I can. I'm not going to rush it because I might have to reset my iPad to get it up, but touch wood, I'll get it up and I'll let you know as soon as it's up, and I'll let Ryan know because he's looking out for it.
He certainly is, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yeah, and take care.
See you later, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Keep
Bye.